welcome to the Pelvic Power Podcast. My name is Penny, and I am the host of this lovely space. I am a pelvic floor yoga teacher who teaches people with pelvic pain how to use movement, breathwork, and body awareness to ease and manage their pain while living a pleasurable life. In this space, we'll be talking about all things taboo because we love it, and how to support your lovely pelvis and your lovely self on this journey that you are on. I am very happy that you are here, and I hope that you enjoy this episode. Welcome back to another episode of the Pelvic Power Podcast. I'm very excited that you are here. The sun is shining in Canada. Summer's here. I feel like my most glorious self, and I'm very excited. And I just want to say, remember that you are hot. Summer's coming. You are hot. Go out there, flaunt it. You got it. Put some lip gloss on, whatever makes you feel even hotter. You do not need a lip gloss to be hot. I'm just saying that it's for me. I love lip gloss, so that just brings a little oomph to it. So remember, you're hot. Go out there, act like it, because you are fucking beautiful. Okay? Okay. I got a message from one of my friends this morning, and he was saying that I'm very smiley lately. It's nice to see, or something like that. And I said, yes, the sun is shining. Life is good. What could be better? Life is good. And this is why we're here. And I'm sorry if you are tuning in and you are down in the dumps right now and you don't really want to hear this, but life can be pretty fucking good, okay? And we're here. We're making it better. So I'm very happy that you're here today. Stay with me. We're going to make your life so much better. Speaking of text messages, that's what I want to dive into. Not texting per se in this episode, but I got a message from one of my followers. It was actually a new follower. And they said, "Hi Penny, I've just been diagnosed with lichen sclerosus and it's got me really down. Will I ever get relief from this? It's horrible." And a sad little cry face. And first, I want to say that I really feel this. I feel that emotion of like being really low, getting diagnosed with lichen sclerosus. Lichen sclerosus can be really hard, really challenging. And it's such an intimate issue. It's such an intimate thing that is happening to an intimate part of your body. And this is something that's with me every single day. Okay. It is an intimate thing to have, and it's hard to share, and it's hard to walk around with that pain yourself. And I know that feeling of feeling hopelessness or feeling like it's never going to get better. But life is going to get better, and we're in this together. You are not alone. So whenever you come across that sense, that feeling of like everything feels hopeless, lichen sclerosus fucking sucks, how am I going to do this? Life is horrible, whatever that may be to you. First, let's just take a breath. And what you're feeling today will not be your tomorrow or next week or next month, as Kathy said when she came on the podcast to talk about lichen sclerosus. Lichen sclerosus can really fluctuate. It can be up and down, up and down. However, today I made a list. So this really got me thinking this message. Okay, if I found out that I live with lichen sclerosus right this very second, what would I do for myself to support my body even more, to support my vulva, to support myself, because it's so much more than just physical. It's an emotional journey. It's an energetical journey. How can I support myself even more in what I am going through? So I made a list. And there's actually one of my TikToks right now that is going viral about lichen sclerosus. And a lot of people are really feeling this like stress about living with lichen sclerosus and how is it going to get better? Will I ever get relief? This sucks. And I sometimes find that we're going so deep into the condition itself. So I kind of made it into two parts, this episode right here, or this list right here that I have. So first, we're going to zoom in on the vulva, the condition itself. When I say the condition itself, no, we're going to zoom in on the vulva. So the first thing that people might think of when they live with lichen sclerosus and how they can support themselves. Okay, how do I get rid of the pain that I'm living with right now? And this is in no specific order. I was meditating this morning and this came to me and I just wrote it all down. So let's go through it, shall we? And we'll see where we end up. So first things first, you want to make sure that you are on your treatment. I come across a lot of people that stop doing their treatment. They use other creams and other remedies. I also want to put in a disclaimer here. I am not a doctor. Let's just start there. I am not a doctor. I live with lichen sclerosus. I live with lichen sclerosus my entire adult life. Many of my students, they live with lichen sclerosus. We talk a lot about lichen sclerosus. I do not know everything, okay? This list is from my heart to your heart only. I am not a doctor. But first, I want to say you got to make sure that you are on your treatment. So, your treatment is going to minimize the risk of scarring, of there being any changes to the structure of your genitals, and also minimize the risk of vulvar cancer. Being on treatment is super important. And maybe you're noticing that, oh, my treatment isn't working. The treatment that I am on right now isn't working. There are so many different steroids that you can try. Talk to your doctor about this. And if that is something that you have a hard time kind of getting through with them, how can you gather more research, more knowledge? Definitely recommend Lichen Sclerosus Support Network because they have so many things. And in one of the episodes with Jacqueline, I did include in the note section that little steroid ladder that you can bring to your doctor if you feel like, okay, this steroid isn't working for me. Here's the ladder. Which one can we try instead that might work for me more? So, being on your treatment is super important. That is, I'm just going to put it out there. Steroids, it's the gold standard. Make sure that you are on your treatment. I cannot stop looking outside because it's just so beautiful outside. Living in Canada, we've had the longest winter. So, it's just really nice to see the sun. Okay, so make sure that you are on your treatment. On top of that, you want to make sure that you have a good moisturizer. And this may take some while. It can take a little while to find a moisturizer that feels good to you, that aligns with your skin. Make sure that you're moisturizing. I moisturize every single day. On that note, I'm going to make sure that I moisturize after this episode. I moisturize every single day when I get out of the shower or first thing in the morning, depending on how I'm feeling. But I want to make sure that I'm moisturizing, that I am moisturizing. I'm moisturizing the rest of my body. I'm moisturizing my face. How can you moisturize your vulva at the same time? Just make it into that little habit stacking episode that we were talking about as well. You're making it into a habit. It's becoming a lifestyle. You're moisturizing your beautiful vulva while you're saying some beautiful little affirmations to your beautiful little vulva. Okay? Okay. Barrier cream. I don't use a barrier. I don't find that I need to. But one student actually mentioned this in our pelvic floor yoga class yesterday that they forgot about the barrier cream and how much it helps them. So again, with lichen sclerosus, it's so individualized. So everything that I'm telling you here might not be for you, but these are some things that you can think of. So barrier cream, maybe you can find a barrier cream that works for you. Just have a look online. Check out Lichen Sclerosus Support Network. I'm just going to plug that in there throughout the entire episode because I absolutely love them and they know so much about lichen sclerosus. Whenever someone sends me a message about lichen sclerosus, I always send them to Lichen Sclerosus Support Network because they are fantastic. They're absolutely the best. Then the next one is walk naked. And for some people, this might feel a little bit, why are we doing this? It's a little bit weird. To me, love being naked. I love it. I love it. I love it. And now when summer's coming, wearing a long skirt, a long dress, going out for dinner, do not put on your underwear. I dare you. You can make it into a little bit of a challenge for yourself. Maybe you feel a little bit sexy along the way. Sleep without underwear. Let your beautiful vulva breathe. Let it breathe. Let it be. Walk around naked on the bottom part. If you want to do your entire self, go ahead. Go for it. Go naked. I applaud you for it. Cold pack, always a go with a cold pack. I have several in my freezer. I have one that's like a heating pad, but I put it in the freezer. And then I also have bags that I filled up with water. However, they tend to kind of break sometimes. I have some water stains on my couch. They look a little bit questionable, I'm not gonna lie. But I put them in the freezer. I always have them close by in case I need it. I was sitting on one last week. I haven't used a cold pack in a long time, but I was sitting on one last week. So cold packs, always a go. What kind of underwear are you wearing? What? Because I'm just like, when I look at all the sexy quote unquote underwear, they do not make me feel sexy because they hurt. They have a weird seam. They have very synthetic fabrics and it doesn't work with my LS and I want to feel sexy, I want to feel comfortable, I want to feel good, I don't go for those underwear, but I know that there are other underwear that work really well with my skin. So think about the underwear that you're wearing. They can make or break how your LS is feeling. Massage the area. Make sure that you're massaging the area. And now we're kind of starting to move away from the vulva a little bit. We're coming there, or we're getting there. But massage the area. How is the area feeling today using your fingers? What are you noticing? How can you soften the skin? You can do this while you're putting on your moisturizer. You can do this as you are masturbating. So I am a big rooter for your pleasure practice. I think it's important for health, for your glow, for how you're feeling. I think it's super important to have that practice with yourself. Not a lot of people, or some people might not align with this, which is totally fine. I spoke about this in the last episode too. Pleasure. And I'm really honing into that right now. Pleasure. Okay. Masturbate. Look after your skin. The other day my LS was just thriving. And I was like, okay, what happens if I masturbate a little bit? Because the juices to me are also very healing. I'm talking about when you're feeling wet, when you have those beautiful juices, that is also very healing to my LS. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do that. But then when you think about it, so you're masturbating, everything is, there's a word for it, growing bigger, engorging. Is that the word I'm looking for? And then I put on my steroid ointment after that. And that was 2 days ago. I haven't felt my LS since then. So masturbate, get the juices flowing, get the blood flowing, then put on your steroid ointment or whatever your treatment may be and see how that works too. And I feel like that's a little bit of a magic trick too. Just like I can connect with this part of my body and in the same way also heal that part of my body. To me, that's magical. We're here, we're witchy, we love it. When you are diagnosed with lichen sclerosus and you feel pain, you're experiencing pain, something feels off, you can go see a pelvic physio for that to work with the skin itself, but also to check in with your pelvic floor. Are you overactive through the pelvic floor muscles? Are you holding on to that tightness? You have a hard time relaxing the pelvic floor because that can also cause pain. And as Jacqueline mentioned in one of our episodes together from the Lost Labia Chronicles, she was saying that a lot of people live with pain in their pelvic floor and they think that it's lichen sclerosus, but it might just be that your pelvic floor is tight. It's holding on to that tension. So, really working with that tension too. And this is where pelvic floor yoga comes in, which I teach, where we learn to relax and lengthen and stretch the pelvic floor so that you can live with less pain. That's all we want. We want to be able to live with less pain, experience more intimacy, experience more pleasure, feel happier, feel more fulfilled, feel more hope, more empowered. That's what we're here for. So go to a pelvic PT, check in with yourself. Okay, am I maybe perhaps gripping through the pelvic floor? How is that perhaps impacting my lichen sclerosus? Because it's all connected. It's not just It's not just your vulva, like your skin is attached to you, your pelvic floor muscles, you have everything is connected. It's not just black and white. Everything is connected. You have all of your nerve endings, you have all of the blood supply, everything. If you are gripping through the pelvic floor and you live with like sclerosis, how do you think that that blood flow is impacted through the pelvic floor and to actually heal your lichen sclerosus? Again, masturbate. This is what we do while we do. So checking in with your pelvic floor from time to time. Okay, am I gripping? If you have a hard time noticing, that is totally fine. This takes practice. You can start noticing other parts of your body. Okay, am I clenching my jaw? Am I shrugging my shoulders up towards my ears? Am I clenching through the glutes? Am I sucking in my belly? All of those little things too, because your pelvic floor is a part of your stress response. And when you're stressed, we often shrug our shoulders, we clench our jaw, we frown our little forehead. So just checking in with your pelvic floor, checking in with your body too. And speaking of stress, your emotional state when it comes to lichen sclerosus, it's really like a catch 22. I think they would say that lichen sclerosus can cause you stress, but your stress can also cause inflammation, which impacts your lichen sclerosus. It's an inflammatory skin condition of the genitals. So, really working on regulating your stress levels is so important. And also, not just, okay, I'm gonna lie down and rest while scrolling on TikTok. That is not regulating your nervous system. How can you do all the little things for yourself? For example, I went to women's retreat this past weekend. And I'm one of those people, I experience a lot of stress. And yes, I'm a yoga teacher. Life is stressful. That is just how it goes. We go up and down, up and down. We just want to make sure that we're not going up and stay up. We want to make sure that we can come back down to regulate. So I went to this women's retreat and we were doing crafts one day. And I just felt like I got so tired, so tired. So I lie down on the couch and I fell asleep. And there were like 14 women there. And I didn't know any of these women. I knew one of the hosts from I teach with her, and I just fell asleep. And I never do that except for when I'm with my mom because I feel so safe with her. I can fall asleep on the couch, and I never do that. But there was so much healing energy, and my body just felt so regulated, or my nervous system felt so regulated in the state of being with these women. So how can you support your nervous system every single day? It's a choice that you're making as you're going through life. Okay, how much time are you actually spending on social media? How much time are you actually comparing your journey to someone else's or your life to someone else's? How much time are you actually watching TV? How much blue light are you getting? Are you actually drinking water? Are you focusing on your breath? Are you taking time outside in the sun? I went for a walk this morning, first thing that I do in the morning, and I do so without my headphones now because it just feels so healing to me and so regulating. And at the same time, I can also walk around, and I can think about, okay, because I am one of those people that I have a lot of things that I need to do and a lot of things I have to accomplish throughout a day. Okay, I can make my list while I'm walking if I want to, just to put it on a piece of paper, which is my notes. Put it on a piece of paper. I can respond to some texts if I feel like doing that. Okay, how can I regulate myself in the process? And that might feel like, are you actually regulating yourself when you are texting? But for me, it's another thing that I can kind of cross off the list because sometimes I forget to respond to text because I am on my phone all the time. I'm always connected, and that dysregulates my nervous system so much. And then I go to sleep at night and I'm like, fuck, I forgot to respond to this person and this person and this message. And that's just a lot for the nervous system. So, how can you intentionally support your nervous system throughout the day? Make sure that you drink enough water, that you're slowing down, that you not take the phone with you to the bathroom. All of those little things, they add up in the long run. So, stress management, how can you work on that too? I was supposed to be part of the Lichen Sclerosus Support Network at the Holistic Healing Summit, but I got really sick, so I couldn't attend. If you were there, I do apologize. I really wish that I could have been there because I love that summit. But they were playing one of my meditations from previous years. And one of my students that come, she is actively going to my online yoga classes every week. She was saying, "Oh, we listened to one of your meditations," and I realized I don't really use the membership to that extent. She's like, "Oh, okay, I should start meditating more because it was so nice. It was so nice just lying there listening to you." And those are also some things you can do to regulate your nervous system. Meditate, breathe, spend time with people that make you feel connected and make you feel safe. Back to the women's circle that I just went to. But just starting to pay attention to, okay, how can I regulate my nervous system right now? And it's also about in emotional well-being. So your stress, your lichen sclerosis, it's an emotional freaking roller coaster. Like this person was saying, I responded to them and then they were like, "Oh, I figured it out. Like I feel better now. Like I went on treatment. I was just having a moment." And it's okay to have that moment, but it's an emotional roller coaster. And how can you actually, okay, maybe tomorrow will be better if I have a little sleep, if I have a little nap, if I have a little treat, if I have a little snack. How how is tomorrow going to be different and the day after that? You don't know how the next day is going to be. But it's an emotional well-being journey too. One of my students came to a class last week and she was saying that it's more than just like we come for the stretches and the movement, but it's also that emotional shift that you're feeling throughout a yoga class that feels so juicy and so yummy. And it's just transformative when you start to really hone into that. So again, if you haven't joined us for a pelvic floor yoga class, you live with pelvic pain, maybe you feel alone, come and join us in the membership. It's such a beautiful community. You get to move, you get to breathe, you get to connect with others, you get to work on your own energy. It's so important on this journey. And then, as I always say, anyone that lives with lichen sclerosus, go check lichen sclerosus support network. Very important. Go check the Lost Labia Chronicles. They have so much information. Like again, I know a lot about lichen sclerosus, but I don't know everything. I don't know everything. Right now, I feel like every other person and their mom has lichen sclerosus. I don't know what the fuck happened. I texted Jacqueline the other day and I was like, were we just like starting out with it and now everyone has it? What? It's in the water. Like everyone has lichen sclerosus. There are so many people that have lichen sclerosus and LSSN. They know so much about LS that you can really gather information from and just really shift your life and how you're looking at your body, at your condition. And the thing is, the power is in your hands. I have so many people reaching out to me with messages just like this, and they are not even taking in what I'm saying. They they have kind of I've spoken about this before. You know, when you have that moment where you're just like, yeah, let's fucking go. Like I can do this. They haven't gotten to that part where they feel like, okay, I'm gonna change my life. Like life needs to change. I'm done with this shit. I'm better than this shit. I am worth more than this shit that I'm sitting in, this little pile of shit right now. It was funny. Side note here. But Kathy posted a part of the podcast episode that we did together, and she was saying shit, I think 3 times in that episode. And someone commented, "Why do people have to be so vulgar right now?" I'm like, "Shit was the vulgar word that got you? You are clearly not in the right space. We talk about vulvas, we talk about vaginas, we talk about masturbation over here. If shit is vulgar, you are definitely not in the right space." But anyway, I get these messages and they are not in that space of like, okay, I can fucking do this. Let's change life right now. It takes time to get there, but some people just can't. They're just not taking the power into their hands. They throw something back at me. I'm like, okay, go check out LSSN. And then they come up with something else. Or, okay, I have a dilator. Okay, great, use it, but I don't have lube. Okay, go get lube. And then that's the end of it. And I'm just like, you have the power to change what you're going through. Sometimes this might seem very hard, but we're using excuses that do not really have to exist. But again, it all comes down to, are you at that part where you want to change your life and how you're feeling? This also comes down to what you are ready for, what your nervous system is capable of. There are so many different components, but this is why we do the work that we do. If you find that I don't understand what she's talking about, getting to a part of life where you feel like, okay, I'm going to change my life. Fuck, I'm ready for a change. Let's do this. I can't understand that, but you can grasp the concept of, okay, maybe I should spend less time on social media. Maybe I should spend less time on my phone. Maybe I need to break off that relationship with that one partner or that one friend because that isn't beneficial to me. Then you're actually regulating your nervous system and you're taking that small, teeny tiny step. It's not just a whole big thing that you have to do right now. All of these things that I said today, they're all small, tiny things that fit into this bigger picture that is you. You're a complex being, you have complex emotions, everything is connected. So, whatever you're going through right now, know that you are on the exact right place in your life of where you need to be. There's nowhere else you need to be right now. There's nothing else. Well, there's nothing else you need to do besides what you're doing. You are doing something for yourself, and that is so fucking important. Let me underline that. That is so fucking important that you're doing these things for yourself. So if you live with lichen sclerosus, you tune into the podcast episode today and you feel like, fuck, I don't know what to do. I have lichen sclerosus. Okay, what of these things that I have given you today can you actually implement into your life that feel they feel attainable to you? They feel kind of easy to you. But also at the same time, what do you actually have to do to move forward? Like I can continue on with this and make so many parallels of this for forever because I was watching a TikTok the other day and this lady was saying, so I have a really hard time doing things that I actually have to do, like make a phone call. If I have to do adult stuff, I have to go pay something off or I have to go fix my car. I have a hard time doing that. But she was saying that whenever I do an errand or I do something adulty, I like to think that the universe is gonna show me or give me a surprise. What is that surprise gonna be? And then she kind of becomes excited about doing the adult work that she has to do. So, looking at it that way too, if you look after yourself, how many more surprises or how many surprises are there going to be for you that the universe is going to give to you as you continue on your journey? You might come across someone really, really important on your journey, on your health journey. That could be a healthcare professional, that could be a therapist, that could be a partner, that could be a really nice friendship. What is that beautiful surprise that the universe is going to give you? Yay. I feel like there was a lot of things to unpack in this episode today. I probably have like 5 episodes within this one episode. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I love to hear from you. I love to hear what you're gaining from the podcast. Like, you actually have no idea how much it means to me. So, yeah, on that note, remember that you're fucking hot. As I said in the beginning of the episode, go out there, rock the world, put on a sexy long dress, no underwear underneath, go for a walk without your headphones on, put on a little bit of lip gloss if you want to, there's no need to. Smile at someone. How can you shift life just a little bit today by doing those things? Until next week, remember to look after your beautiful body and your beautiful being because you are so much more than just your condition and your body. And I will see you next week. Bye. If you love this episode, I will be so grateful if you could leave a rate and review in your podcast app. It would mean so much to me. If you're tuning in on YouTube, feel free to hit subscribe and leave a little comment down below about what you learned about yourself today. Thank you so much, and you have no idea how much I appreciate you for being here.